How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State men's basketball news. Today's video is unfortunately the last game recap or game recaps I will do. I will be talking about the Aggies' 2 Conference USA tournament games. Yes, they were able to play in 2 games. As you guys know, previous years they were only able to play in 1 and lost. Still lost in the quarterfinals for a 3rd straight year, so not fun. But they were able to win that first round game. The past couple years they were able to avoid that first round game, but just didn't get as high of a seed this year. Even though their overall record was even, 16-16, only 8-12 in conference, finished 10th. They were picked to finish 3rd. Some people might look at it as a disappointing season, but at the end of the day, even though it was just a first round win and they did get to avoid those the previous years, they're still the first team to get a Conference USA tournament win. And the history of the Aggies obviously played in the Sun Belt, the WAC, but never Conference USA have been able to get that tournament win. Really wish we would have beat Sam Houston. I really feel like if we did, the path was there for us. I feel like we match up a lot better with Kennesaw State than we do Western Kentucky, and they did beat Western Kentucky, so I think we would have had a decent chance to beat them. And Liberty got knocked out by Missouri State. That was a big upset for them. And so avoiding Liberty in the championship game, playing against a team like Louisiana Tech today, who we've already beat before, would have been nice to have, but it is what it is at the end of the day. The Aggies came in as a 10 seed, like I said, played against the 7 seed Jacksonville State, who going into the game, the Aggies have already beaten twice. So even Jacksonville State won that game, the Aggies would still win the season series, but obviously this is the most important game, and the Aggies got it done. They beat Jacksonville State 3 times. I don't care who you're playing, beating a team 3 times is very difficult to do, and Jacksonville State is a very, very good team. They were second in conference for the longest time, went on a little bad stretch there, just like the Aggies had their bad stretches, just like Missouri State had their bad stretches, and even Liberty lost 4 of their last 6 games. It's all about getting hot at the right time, and the Aggies did such a great job in that game. They only trailed for like 2% of the game. I think they were down 10-7, built up a little bit of a lead, up at 14, 35-21. A similar lead like they had against UTEP, but they blew that game, and it was looking like they may have blown this game against Jack State. Jack State got within 2 points at one point, but the Aggies were able to build it back up, get a clutch win, won by 5. Jalen Randall hit some clutch free throws. Overall, the team played well. Jalen Randall played well. Jamel Jones played well. Juice did not play so well in either of the tournament games. I know he got a little hurt against Kennesaw State, and so there's some theories saying that he might have been hurt in those games because he only combined for 6 points and 8 rebounds in the 2 games. Definitely could have used him. If he'd have played that the way he usually does, I really think we would have won that Sam Houston game. But obviously, there's a lot of other factors that played into that loss. But right now, we're focusing on the win, and then we'll talk about the unfortunate loss. Jamel finished with 17 points against Jack State. Only shot 5 for 16 from the field, but he hit some really clutch shots. Hit a nice and one with the free throw. Looked at the band, which we did run a band. We're not our band. A little weird, but it is what it is. That's a different story for a different day. Not too sure what goes on with all that. I guess it was good to have some people cheer for us, though. He had some clutch shots, had some clutch free throws. Only missed one. The first one he missed went like in and out. Then he made the rest of them. I believe he was 5 for 6 from the line. Did a lot of great things overall. Gabe Pickens played his best game of his collegiate career. He's been playing a lot better. I mean, I say he has been. The season's over. He played a lot better at the end of the year. Finished the year averaging about 4.5 points. Jumped his scoring average from a few points from last year. Almost doubled it. And just jumped his scoring average through the last couple games. Had 16 points. Was 3 for 3 from 3. Hit some clutch ones to start the game. I think he had 2 threes early in the game and hit a clutch 3 to put us up by a few points there at the end to kind of solidify us to win. Jalen Randall, I think, finished with 7 points. But hit some clutch free throws. Chris played well. Anthony played well. He had a shot at the backboard in both games. Even some of the guys that weren't scoring as much, like those guys I just mentioned, they were still doing good things to help us get the win. In both games, we only had 2 guys finishing double figures, with this first game, Jamel finishing with 17 and Gabe with 16. The next game, it was Jamel who had 19. Jacoby had 10. I think he had like 8 points in the early going. Had another bucket in the second half. Shot really efficient, 5 for 6. He's also a guy that improved a lot, averaged 6 points. His game is just really, really good. Really looking forward to him. Hopefully he can come back next year. I believe he puts on some muscle and improves that outside shot. This guy could legit be a double-double machine, just like Juice Mims. Mustafa for Jacksonville State had 23 points, averages 19 points per game on the year. Hill had 11 points, Jacoby Hill. Jamel Jones also did make the second team, all Conference USA second team. Zach Cleveland won Player of the Year, which I don't think he should have got it. Zach Cleveland's a great player, definitely should have been first team, especially playing for such a great Liberty team, being first, even though they lost. Still was the best team in conference throughout the regular season. Just not when it mattered most, just like the Aggies, I guess, lost when it mattered most. We also won that first round game, so that was good too. I don't even think, Zach Cleveland's the best player on his team. I think Metheny, Porter are better players. I can't remember who else. I know those 2 guys for sure, in my opinion, are better. I guess arguments can be made, but they have guys who are scoring the ball a little better than him and help Liberty win a little bit more. I know Cleveland does a lot of great things on the defensive side of the ball, grabs a lot of rebounds as well, but I just thought he shouldn't have got it. I mean, I get given to a Liberty player just because, again, they did have the 1 seed, but I just didn't think he should have got it. And it's obviously a regular season award, but seeing how they played in that tournament, definitely don't think it should have gone to him. I was really happy with Missouri State and how they played. They had that big guy, 6'4", rebounding machine, can finish in the paint with ease. He's a 6'4" post, does a lot of great things. Basu. It's hard to say his name sometimes, but really good player for him. I thought he should have maybe had a shot, honestly, at winning Conference USA Player of the Year. A lot of people were upset that Jamel didn't get the first team. I was upset too, but I think it comes down to the overall record. But then Juice Mims also was an honorable mention, and UTEP had 3 players that were honorable mentions. They didn't even get to the tournament. Now they're going to the Mountain West. Not sure how they're going to do. I saw some people on Twitter saying like UTEP fans were happy that they're out of Conference USA finally. And I'm like, you guys didn't really bring anything to the table. I mean, they made 3 bowl games. I believe it was the Mexico Bowl. Lost all of them. In basketball, I think they only made the tournament 1 time. They made it to the Conference USA championship game 1 time. Or maybe they didn't make the tournament. I can't remember exactly. Maybe it was just the championship game for Conference USA, which was a couple years ago, which was a surprise. But we'll see what they do. Had to talk a little crap to UTEP. Why not? Overall, it was a good 68-63 win for the Aggies against Jacksonville State. They shot the ball well, played really well on defense at the end. Jacksonville State wasn't hitting clutch shots like what's happened to the Aggies a lot of times this season, where they've lost a lot of those close games. Able to get their 3rd straight, close win. Always good when you end the season kind of off like that. They were 3-0 in March, then unfortunately lost to Sam Houston, which we'll talk about right now. Like I mentioned, Kobe played very well. Very easily could have been the player of the game. I know Jamel Jones had 19 points, but he also shot an atrocious 6 for 21 from the field. Not so great there. He did all he could. And honestly, I'm defending the guys too, because a lot of the shots that the Aggies missed were like very, very close to going in. There were like 5 or 6 shots that like literally just went in and out, just popped out. If those shots go in, they definitely win that game. Even on some of the free throws, they played hard. Shout out to Kyrie Smolin. He was playing on like a broken finger or something the last couple games of the season. He was doing a lot of great things. He wasn't scoring the ball a whole lot, but his impact was definitely there. Especially the Juice is not playing as well as he usually does. I don't know if he was hurt. Looked like he was kind of in his head. He came in and did a lot of great things. Thought Augustine played well. Sear Malonga came in, got some big minutes. Wish he would have done a little bit more with those minutes. I'm really hoping that Sear and Augustine can be guys that can come back and just continue to develop and be some top posts for us, next season. And with eligibility rules, who knows how many years of eligibility they have. Augustine's obviously a freshman. He should have 3 more. Sear should only have 1 more, but who knows with the NCAA now and how that all works. Kashi Natchez played really well for Sam Houston, had 17 points, had some nice passes, finished at the rim, pretty athletic finishes, got some nice dunks, did a lot of great things overall. He also played very well against Kennesaw State. Not sure how many points he finished in that game, but Sam Houston did lose. I think there's some Sam Houston fans watching, that watch these videos, so what's up? Good for y'all for beating us. Kennesaw State's a good team. I mean, they were picked to finish, 2nd in conference and, only finished 6th, but now they're in the championship game against Louisiana Tech. What do you guys think about that? I actually kind of like that. I think it's like the first year in 6 years that it's not like, a top 3 seed that's going to win Conference USA. I think that just goes to show you how even the conference is and how winnable it is for everybody. Like, even the Aggies had a chance, right? Almost beat Sam Houston. With how bad the Aggies played that game. If you guys watched the game, they did not play good at all. They were missing a lot of shots, weren't boxing out. I don't know if it's the Aggies not boxing out well, or if it's just that Sam Houston's a really good, rebounding team or offensive rebounding team, because they're doing the same thing in Kennesaw State. I think it's a little mix of both. My point being is the Aggies did not deserve to win that game. They did not play well at all. And with how they played, easily could have lost by like 23 plus points. The way they played was similar to that Western Kentucky game and similar to that Kennesaw State game, yet they only lost by 8 points. Sam Houston was not on their A game either. They did a lot of great things and they did enough to win. I just really think the Aggies would have played, just like they had been the previous games prior, really could have won that game. And you just never know what goes from there. It's always a shoulda, woulda, coulda. We'll never know. But hopefully the Aggies can just continue to improve for the future and, break this streak of not making the NCAA tournament. Obviously, the Aggies are used to doing that in the WAC. Conference USA is a little bit more competitive than that now, and the WAC only has like 7 teams. I wonder if the WAC's going to die out like the Pac-12 did, or I guess it's coming back now. We'll see what goes on the WAC for the future. I know there was even like threats of like Utah Valley leaving the conference or something, but they're probably going to win their conference championship game today, which I'll probably watch that Kennesaw State and La Tech game today as well for Conference USA. And let me know if you guys will as well, and who you think will win that game and how far you think they'll get to the tournament, what seed they'll get. I was kind of thinking about that too yesterday. I was watching the game. I was thinking like Kennesaw State, they finished like 21-13, probably get like a 15 seed. And the same with La Tech. We'll have to see what happens. Sam Houston also just had a lot more guys that were scoring, more balanced scoring than the Aggies did. The Aggies haven't had a lot of balanced scoring throughout the year, and with how much offensive talent they have, they only had 2 guys finishing double figures that last game, and the game against Jacksonville State, and only had 2 guys average double figures for the year. Obviously, guys like Elijah Elliott, Jalen Randall, they had multiple instances like that. Jalen Randall kind of heated up toward the end of the year, and Elijah Elliott unfortunately did not. Gabe Pickens did a lot of great things. Chris Terrell came to the bench, did some good things, but the inconsistencies is what really defines this Aggie team, hence why they finished 16-16. That just goes to show you exactly, all you need to know. Easily could have been a 21-22 win team. Had a few games here and there that they won that maybe they shouldn't have, but they definitely had a lot more games that, they blew than not, if that makes sense. They were just 2-6 in games decided by 3 points or fewer. I think it was like, 3-7 in games decided by 5 or fewer or something like that, or maybe a little bit more, because they're toward the end of the season, they were winning a lot more of those close games. I mean, they beat, Jacksonville State by 2, 77-75, which was the exact same score that we lost to Liberty earlier on in the year, and then beat Kennesaw State 79-76. Thankfully, Kennesaw State's one of their top guys, number 11, missed that 3 at the end. And then, in the tournament, 68-63 win over Jack State, beat them by 9. So they were all close games, and a little less than a month. It's actually, today's been exactly a month since we played Jack State for the first time. So not only did we beat them 3 times this season, literally beat them 3 times in less than a month, and a short month too, because February, March, only 28 days, or February is only 28 days, so a month would be 28 days. So yeah, they had pretty crazy stuff. Always hard to do. Jacksonville State's a great team. That's the team that the Aggies have found most success against, though, since beating Conference USA. They the only team they swept that first year in Conference USA was Jack State. This past year, the only team they truly swept was also Jack State. Technically, they swept La Tech, but only played them one time. Could have truly swept Sam Houston if they would have beat them that last game, but obviously not. They split. So Coach Hoon is 2-4 against his old school, and old coach Chris Mudge, or assistant coach, now he's the head coach there. Would love to see the Aggies play against Sam Houston twice next year, try to get those 2 wins to get back even, and go from there and have a chance at getting the revenge in a Conference USA tournament game or whatever it may be. Ultimately, what ended the Aggie season was just kind of what it's been throughout the year. Not rebounding, not playing good enough defense. The offense was there, but when it's not there, it's hard to win a game. Like I said, they got down by as much as 13, got within 4 a few times, but just couldn't hit a shot to get it less than that, to get it a 1-possession game or take the lead. There was a stretch where they're down by 6, but missed 2 consecutive threes, and Sam Houston scored, went down by 8. Just a big momentum swing, just wasn't going their way. Got down early. They never led. I think the closest it ever was 2-2. Other than that, never led. Got to a bad start. And they've got to bad starts before and were able to come back and do well, like, Jacksonville State in the regular season, but just weren't able to put it together in that Sam Houston game, unfortunately, which ended the season. And it all comes down to that one game. And if you win, cool, you keep going. If you lose, you're out. It'll be fun to watch the game today, but it'll just suck just knowing, like, man, wish it was the Aggies. But again, gonna sound like a Cowboys fan. Maybe next year's the year. You never know. We'll see how it all goes. I wrote a season recap, a really quick one, just kind of recapping certain things about the Aggie season, which I posted on my community post, so go check out that link if you guys don't mind, on Crimson Wire for the school. That'd be really great to do, the school newspaper. Really love helping out with all that stuff. We don't do a lot of sports, we don't do a lot of different work. Really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the Aggie season. Again, a lot of people can look at it as disappointing. They also did get a conference tournament win for the first time, but it was just a first round game, and they lost in the quarterfinals for a 3rd straight year. So depending on how you look at it, they finished 16-16, which, how I was looking at one point, I looked at the Aggies might have finished below 500. So the fact that they at least finished right at 500 is not bad. It is 1 game worse than last year, and I believe this team was definitely more talented than that team, but when it comes to defense, they just didn't have it. What do you guys think the future of the team's looking like? I know we have some young guys coming in next year. Which guys do you think will stay? Which guys do you think will leave? I know there's a lot of the eligibility rules. Like, I think Jamel Jones might have 1 more year of eligibility. Will he come back? Will he not? Who knows? Gabe and Jacoby are guys that stayed after their first year, so you would think they'd maybe come back. But you got guys like Jaden Harris, who we thought might have done the same thing after coming back and then left. Hopefully he can play well today and get Kennesaw State a win. I'll root for him for sure. Nothing against him. I think he's a good guy. Zadi, though, I like Zadi at FIU. He obviously played here, did a lot of great things for us. But when he was kind of trash-talking Coach Hoon a little bit, what it looked like after they beat us here at the Pan Am, kind of upset me. Jaden Harris didn't really do that stuff from what I saw. So rooting for him to do well. Both those guys still support the Instagram accounts and social media and stuff. So really hope that, Jaden can just make a name for himself. Maybe he'll be the next March Madness legend. With that, that's all I have for the video today. Again, please comment below, and I'm out.